217.
Hashtag entry granted at Level Asian Pod. Hashtag VerseTV217B.
Look, I am a little bit fortunate. My name is White. My name's Aaron Christie David. I don't speak another language besides English. So if I did a phone interview, I sound white. And then I turn up and they're like, Aaron. And I was like, it's me. And they're like, Aaron Christie David. And they don't realize they're doing it. Yeah, it's me, like a 6 foot brown guy. And at that point, they can't say no because now they get discrimination. So I think that's probably how I got quite a few of my jobs, truth be told. So like, dude, we can't just say no to the bloke. We've got him here. He's got the qualifications. Whereas I'm really fortunate, whereas some people have a really ethnic sounding name, they don't get calls. And I used to say to people, like, change your name. As harsh as it sounded, it's your identity. Change your name and see if you get phone calls. And it would work. Dude, don't put your address down because Southwest Sydney isn't sexy. And I can say because I grew up there.
Isn't it wonderful how he was able to have such a simple solution? Anyway, I will say my initial reaction is it's not always that simple. It's not. And it's almost like he's like, yeah, change your name so you can trick them with your name. And then they'll be like, oh, I didn't know. You got me. Well, now that you got me, welcome in. Welcome in. We're happy to have you since you tricked me. You got it. Come on in, please. No. And it's almost like people talking about how it's often told this way, the story of the kids who integrated the first schools. And the story often ends with, oh, the police escorted them into the school and they finally made it. We won. That was it. Everything was all wonderful from there. And that's not the truth at all. And I remember a friend of my mom's actually was one of the kids. Now, my mom, her, her friend was one of the kids that integrated as soon as they offered the opportunity. And he integrated the schools for 1 year. And my mom said he came back that next year and he was like, Lydia, I didn't mean to say her name, but well, it doesn't. My mom is deceased, and you know, rest in peace, as they say. Anyway, but he was like, it was awful. Everybody called me nigger. The kids call me nigger. The teachers call me nigger. The administration calls me nigger. Like people deal with stuff like that. But, and I didn't really get to this in the first topic, but I'll still reference it, how I think in the cases that it works and that people were able to make it through, it's because they were able to develop a friend or two who had liberal parents who were like, you know what? This is where things are going now. Yes. So you can and should befriend that poor black girl, that poor black boy who is being called nigger by everybody. And the liberal teachers, liberal progressive teachers who were like, you know what? I know that everybody's calling you nigger, but you don't deserve that. So I'm not going to treat you that way. So it comes down to those of us who are progressive. Yes, us progressive family people, let's do it. We're on the right side of history. Now, as far as the name situation, I will save all of that. Well, I will quickly say and then jump back to it. I got into a very passionate discussion with a friend of mine many years ago about the whole name situation. That'll be my little dog year, and I'll come back to basic complexity.
Yes. The entire situation I've always found rather interesting. I mean, just with me personally, based off of my first name and my last name, you can't tell what race I am. And I've definitely been on Facebook and researched my name. There are several other guys with my name. Really, I've only believe seen one or two that are African American or black. Pretty much everyone else is more or less Caucasian. And yeah, it's just I realized that, and as sad as it is, um your children's names do kind of play a role in how they go through life. Now, it shouldn't be like that, but it is. And that's it.
I'm just gonna throw in the fact you mentioned Caucasian, and it's like there's a difference between Caucasian and white. And a lot of people don't know about that, but like people just use the terms interchangeably. But
Yeah.
the Caucasus Mountains are anyway. Anyway, that was actually possibly going to be a topic one day, but my 1 minute is so many years ago in my 20s, I got into a deep discussion with a friend of mine whose name I'm just going to call him Connor, just to sort of claim how we both have names that work or fitting in society.
Mhm.
And he was of the perspective that parents should be allowed to name their kids whatever they want to name their kids. And what the world needs to do is grow to the point that we don't negatively judge people based on their names. And I was like, but that's not fair because the little kids are going to have to suffer with the fact that it's been statistically proven that when you have a difficult name, that you are less likely to get your resume called. And he's like, yeah, but as a society, we still need to grow out of not calling people because their resume name isn't
Mhm.
what we want. We need to grow to a point that we're not judging people based on stuff like that. Anyway, long story short, very long story short, ultimately, I agree with him now. And my one sentence is there is I get so, whenever I say something is a lot, I'm like, it's a whole lot of money. Anyway, let me stop.
Mm.
But there is a lot built into this naming debate. Let's lead with love and not judgment. Kevin, if you want a one on one.
Um, more or less, um, well, first off, I completely agree with you. Um, and my sentence, and it's sad but true. Sometimes just gotta play the game with your name just to get ahead. And it shouldn't be like that, but it is.
All right. And the hashtag Verse TV family question is, should parents only give their kids names that assimilate well, or should culture grow to be less judgmental? All right, are you ready for the next topic?
Yeah,
And you're first for this as well as D.
right.
But here comes C, wherever it is. Oh, Share, subscribe, and share again. Thank you. Share, subscribe, and share again. Thank you. All right.